Okay, I think we are live, everyone. It has been over a month since I've done a live Q&A. And since I said that the main benefit I wanted to provide to people who signed up as members of the channel was to do live Q&As where Barb, SPTV Tattoo Warrior in the back office, tried to star for me as many comments from members as possible. I figured, you know what, we have got to do another live chat. It's a Wednesday afternoon. It's a pretty good hour. It's 5:20 p.m. Early enough for the European crowd to join, late enough for the Pacific crowd to join as well. And welcome, guys. It's been a little while. I've not been doing quite as many videos over the last couple months. I'm trying to get back into the saddle, do a lot more of them. I just have had some company in town. Weekend after weekend, week after week. And, sometimes there are just more important things than worrying about how many videos I do in a day. But you guys know I do worry about how many videos I do in a day. And I'm going to try to do more. What can I say? Let's see. Let me say hi to some of the members who are here. Hello, Oracle 1. Oh, hell no. Welcome. Oh, hell no. Old Frizz, of course, Barb, SPTV Tattoo Warrior, one of my wonderful moderators. And let me see. Sandy McKenna, good to see you, Sandy. Scrolling through here. It's me, Anna, 2010. Hello and welcome. Karen McCourt, welcome. Silver Spoon, hello. And NatCat 180. I believe I'm going to be seeing you in Montreal in a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. Rocks in a Box. Hello. Jennifer Fisher, Regina Baker, Linda Perales, Donna Maher. Is it Maher or Mar? It could be either. Ren Listens. Hello. Paula Bazak, Cinnamon Roll Vancouver, Karen Rodford, Rona Cooley, Susan P, Miss Kim, Law Nerd Fan, Susan Simon, Marissa Martin, PDX, AK Weather, I guess that's Alaska Weather, Natalie Scott, Becca Jean, Oh Susie Q, King's Kid, Popsicle People, Ken's channel has made it. Good to see you, Ken's channel. We got a new channel member, Nico Yeg Squirrel. All right, now I'm dying to know what that means, but hello and welcome. On the Happy Healing Train, welcome. Debbie Johnston, it's me, Jane. It's me, Jane. And Beth O'Toole, Jennifer Fisher, Rachel, Rose Gold, Susie in Paradise. Welcome, all of you. I'm sure if I keep scrolling, I'll find more. Oh, I almost got to the end there. Jennifer Marie Joyce, Jennifer Fisher. All right, I do have Barb in the back office helping me to start comments. Let's see how many of these bad boys we can get through. Comments and questions, guys. If you are a channel member and you want Barb to star your comment or a question, please begin your comment or a question with all caps comment or all caps question, and that will make her task that much easier. Oh boy. Okay, guys, let's see what we have going on. Oh, hell no, says Aaron. Please tell me you got your SPTV Foundation t-shirt. It was delivered on April 8th. Did you get it? April 8th. I mean, gosh, that's 3 weeks ago. Oh, hell no. I don't think that I did. It's not ringing a bell. I don't remember getting an SPTV Foundation t-shirt specifically. I've received some other t-shirts, but I don't remember getting one of these. I think if you have a picture of what it looked like that would help jog my memory, shoot it to me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. And but otherwise, I really don't think so. Sorry about that. Oracle 1, hey from Sydney, happy Thursday. Awesome. I wondered if this was a good time for the Australians to join. Let's see, what time is it in Sydney? Oh, 7:30 a.m. Not bad. That's pretty early, but not crazy early. Welcome, Oracle 1. Glad to have you here. Oh, let's see. Old Frizz. Hope there's good news about the SPTV Foundation tax stuff. Everyone's saying it's iffy is all pissing me off. A handful of trolls on the internet is not everyone. Everyone associated with the foundation has been very clear that the 501c3 status from the IRS is still pending. Meaning the approval from the IRS for 501c3 status is still pending. The Aftermath Foundation is formed as a Florida nonprofit corporation. When the IRS grants the 501c3 status, the approval is retroactive to the beginning of the year. So that's about as cut and dry as it gets. We've already been able to raise a whole bunch of money. We've already been fortunate enough to approve many applications, and we have many more applications pending to discuss and vote on as well. And I couldn't be happier with how it's going. So thank you for the question, Old Frizz. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay. This must have been when I was late. Aaron Bueller. Blake Reed says, I'm bouncing around on the live streams, but I had to at least catch Aaron's since I'm always late. Blake, you're always, I've never noticed you being late. I've just noticed that you're always here, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Blake. Alicia Aloha, welcome as a new, Aaliyah Aloha, welcome as a new channel member. Happy to have you here. Farrell Cheryl, good afternoon, lovelies. Good afternoon to you, Farrell Cheryl, one of my awesome moderators. Jennifer Fisher, when will you be heading back to Los Angeles? I do think I will be back in LA in a couple weekends from, so what? It's not the weekend right now. It's Wednesday. Let me check my calendar. So boom. I am hoping to be in LA sometime over the weekend of May 10th, 11th, and 12th. Stay tuned for that. Should be having a lot of fun. Doc, welcome, Doc, as a new channel member. Happy to have you here. Marissa Martin, PDX, you had a life? How could you? My pearls. Yes, indeed. It is good to have a better work-life balance, but I'm someone who's been very accustomed over the last 30 years to not having a work-life balance, a healthy work-life balance. And I know that it is a good thing to have, but for me, it actually is kind of stressful to have a healthy work-life balance because I'm actually happiest when I am working. I don't know if that's just a bad gear that I'm stuck in, or if it's just something that maybe is kind of fortunate. Like, I mean, there could be worse things than being happy working, right? There could be much worse things. So, but yeah, I guess I don't really know what else to say about it. I really enjoy doing what I do, and whether that's here on YouTube or whether that's doing real estate stuff or whether that's anything else, I enjoy being busy. I also say that I am a pathological procrastinator, and I know I call myself lazy a lot, but even when I'm laying around or sitting around not doing the things I know I need to be doing, I'm at least thinking about them. Like, it's always on my mind. And honestly, it's more stressful to have something on my mind and not be doing something about it than it is to have something on my mind and be actively working about it. But yeah, sometimes a healthy work-life balance accidentally creeps in. And what you gonna do? Kelly Copter says, happy Wednesday to Tom Cruise's best friend's worst nightmare. Thank you so much, Kelly. Kelly, also one of the fantastic moderators on this channel. Always good to see you, Kelly. And Olga, I love your Q&As. Well, thank you very much. I love doing them. And it's not even actually what I intended to do this afternoon. I've got like 3 videos that theoretically I'd like to get done today. But the videos that I want to do about the updates and the lawsuits, I have a whole bunch of documents that I have to review before I can sit down and intelligently discuss the updates. And every time I'm about to sit down and do that video, I go, damn it, there's like 40 pages of documents I have to go through. I don't want to do that right now. So I was like, you know what? It's a perfect time in the afternoon. Let's do a live Q&A. And I will get to the updates and the lawsuits later today. Thank you, Olga, and thank you for joining. DP Neverin, a new channel member. Thank you so much. Happy to have you here. At KS, here for muster. Roll call. And Nico Yeg Squirrel, super secret international code. Yeg. All right, I'm going to have to look it up. What does Yeg stand for? You're exceptionally grumpy. That can't be it. Is that it says, oh, YEG is the airport code for Edmonton International Airport. Okay. Are you in Edmonton? If so, that's very clever. Let me know if that's what it is. Jennifer Fisher says, I just bought 3 more t-shirts from you. My entire wardrobe is now SPTV. Well, awesome. That is fantastic. There's a whole bunch of cool designs back there, a whole bunch of different men's shirts, women's shirts, different designs. There's polos now. There's hoodies. There's all sorts of fantastic stuff. I myself actually could use some more SPTV merch. I've got even the t-shirt that I have, I think is a t-shirt that Laura FM sent me. I don't even think it's one of mine. And I think the SPTV hat that I have might be one that Laura sent me as well. I've got one of my own mugs. I've got one of my own, I think they call these tumblers, or whatever it is. And yeah, I need some more of my own stuff as well. Thank you for reminding me, Jennifer. And thank you for getting some t-shirts from the merch store. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Carrie 01, listening on my way to work. Awesome, Carrie. Thanks for joining. Cinnamon Roll Vancouver. Comment. Okay, maybe that was just a trial run. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Okay, Ken's channel says, have you picked your first person to interview with your new setup for your channel? Oh my God. Okay. Well, the first person that I planned on videoing with was my friend George LeBanca, Clearwater George, surrounded by Scientology. This is what I mean when I call myself a professional procrastinator. George and I could literally record any single day we wanted to at any time. And I think that's part of the reason why we haven't done it yet is we go, oh, we could always do it later. Oh, we could always do it later. When everyone was here visiting a couple weeks ago, I said for sure I was going to sit down with Liz Gale, Natalie Webster, Kelly Copter, Jenna Miscavige, even my Tony, and of course, George and Kai, SPIT Clearwater. We thought we were just going to be having so much fun at this table the whole time. We could not have been less interested in sitting down at this table. And now that everyone's pretty much gone home, I'm like, okay, I still think it's George, except George is heading out of town tomorrow. But now that George is out of town, that means Kai is in town, and maybe Kai's just got to come over and we just got to break this thing in. I think so. So yes, I mean, so Ken, the simple answer to your question was it was always supposed to be George, but now it might be Kai. So we'll check that out. I really want to make that happen. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, Adrian. Have you ever spoken to anyone who left after initially disconnecting from you? Oh, wow. I don't think so. I don't like what I think of when you ask me this question is like people here locally in Clearwater who were like actually part of my real day-to-day life experience who disconnected from me. Did any of those guys leave who I'm now in touch with? And the answer to that is no. I mean, really, you know, I was connected to just thousands and thousands and thousands of Scientologists on Facebook, most of whom I didn't necessarily weren't more than an acquaintance, many of whom weren't even more than Facebook friends. So like if those guys unfriended me or blocked me on Facebook, I don't even know I would consider them to like really be an answer to this question. So yeah, I'm going to go with no on this one. I'll have to give that some more thought though. Debbie with an I. Hello from Michigan. Hello, Debbie. Rachel D. Yay, I finally caught a live. Thank you for joining us, Rachel D. Glad you could make it. Thank you for being a channel member. Creekside Casual. What kind of fundraising events are you guys considering? So you're talking about for the SPTV Foundation. I'm just going to speak for myself here. I like to focus on my strength, which is YouTube. Once the foundation has 501c3 status, then I can apply to YouTube to have the foundation on its list of approved charities for online fundraisers. That takes like at the most a week or two to get approved through YouTube. And then you will see me and us doing, Barb, hold on. Then you will see we doing the types of live YouTube online fundraisers where all you have to do is push the button. Instead of when you're doing a YouTube fundraiser, YouTube sets it up where there's no such thing as a super chat. For you guys in the live chat, you'll be familiar with there's like a super chat button near the comment area. And on a YouTube fundraiser, instead of the super chat button, it's a donate button to the charity. And the live chat gives you an update on how much has been, how many funds have been raised on that video. It gives you a running total of how much funds have been raised. That for me is what I'm going for and what I'm going to like to do the most. It makes the most sense. It's the easiest. Oh, and also YouTube pays all of the processing fees, all of the payment processing fees. When you do those, YouTube pays it all. So it's very efficient. It's the best use of everyone's money who donates their hard-earned funds. Now, in the meantime, there are fundraising events we could be doing that I'm just not doing because I don't want to, which means we could just get on here and do live streams and encourage everyone to go to the SPTV Foundation website and donate on the website. Those are fundraisers. I just don't want to do it. I mean, if you're watching now and you want to support the foundation, please feel free to go to sptvfoundation.org and donate. That's fine. I haven't even bothered to get a PayPal account set up for the foundation. It's just whatever. I think it's through Stripe. The payment processor through the website is Stripe. Stripe handles all that stuff. I haven't even bothered to create a separate PayPal account. I know a lot of you have asked for that. So when I said I'm going to answer for me, that's because those are the fundraisers I'm going to do. Now, there's many other kinds of fundraisers that many other board members have more experience doing, like Serge really loves doing art and fashion stuff. George also has a lot of experience doing that. And I'm fully in favor of all sorts of other types of fundraisers. But guys, I'm here to do what's easiest, and that's YouTube. So that's my answer. Thank you for the question, Creekside Casual. I very much appreciate it. Gypsy Wolf, hello everyone. Hello to you, Gypsy Wolf. Okay, NatCat180. Have you heard anything about the person who put help in the window? NatCat180, you are talking about something that was caught on video on L. Ron Hubbard Way in one of the buildings. It's called Main Building right there. It's the V-shaped building, the old hospital complex that's shaped like a V. And it's got the huge Scientology sign on the very top of it. I saw the video that showed the window that had some tape up on it that many people did think said help. I saw the video. I didn't think it said that. To me, what I saw was it was a window that was taped over as if you were going to do painting on the interior painting, and you have to paper over the windows. And, you know, when you're doing that, oftentimes you'll just you'll take a section of paper and tape that, and then put a section of paper over it and tape that. I didn't, it just looked to me like people were taping paper on a window. I did hear about it. I did not agree that anyone taped help on a window. And just think about it. There'd be a serial member would never do that. Like there'd be no reason for a serial member to do that. Even if someone put help on the window, what's going to happen? Someone's like, if you're a serial member and you want help, you're not going to put tape on a window. It's just not a thing. Thank you for the question, NatCat180. Bev's playlist from Sissimipi. Have you added any new merchandise? A few weeks ago, we added some additional items. It was one of the items was some polos, some patches. I think there's been some other shirts added recently. Oh, there's like a Never In shirt, Never In SP, a really cool Never In SP shirt that's on there. But I need to add more. I'll try to. Okay, NatCat180 says, do you think David Miscavige has a succession plan for Scientology after he passes? I absolutely do not think David Miscavige has any succession plan. even L. Ron Hubbard didn't really have a good succession plan. I mean, in reality, he did have a plan. Pat Broker and Annie Broker were supposed to take over control of Scientology, organizationally speaking. No one was ever really supposed to fill L. Ron Hubbard's shoes, per se. But Pat Broker and Annie Broker were the people who were supposed to be the primary managers of Scientology. And even L. Ron Hubbard did such a poor job communicating his intentions to anybody who would have any authority to make sure his intentions were carried out, that David Miscavige himself was able to tell everyone that Pat and Annie Broker were lying. There was this issue. There was this written issue that L. Ron Hubbard put out prior to his death, or he wrote it prior to his death. It might have been issued after his death, naming Pat Broker and Annie Broker loyal officers, and loyal officer 1 and loyal officer 2, and putting them in charge of Scientology. And this thing was issued and distributed to an awful lot of Scientologists. And then David Miscavige had them all rounded up and destroyed, and told everyone that Pat and Annie Broker, that Pat and Annie Barb had told everyone that Pat and Annie Broker had forged that document, and that it was not L. Ron Hubbard's intentions. So, Miscavige doesn't really see anyone capable of replacing him. In fact, this is interesting to consider. L. Ron Hubbard said that when he moved off of senior management lines, which it turns out he never really did, he just pretended that he did, but he replaced himself with like 12 people. This was one of L. Ron Hubbard's not so humble brags, that one person could never replace L. Ron Hubbard in all of the functions he performed. It would take committees of people, dozens or 1 dozen or even 2 dozen people. And, these committees were called the International Management Executive Committee and the Watchdog Committee. These were committees L. Ron Hubbard put in place because even though he's, a liar and a fraudster and a con man, he did actually have the intention of Scientology succeeding, which shouldn't be a crazy idea. I mean, he's a liar and a fraudster and a con man, and Scientology is a lie and a fraud and a con. The con man would want his con to continue succeeding. David Miscavige has actually dismantled and destroyed all of the committees that L. Ron Hubbard set up to perform the functions that L. Ron Hubbard considered that he performed. So Miscavige is even the opposite. He's like, all you guys do nothing. I do everything anyway. I don't need any of you. You're all screw ups. You're all SPs. You're all out ethics. You're all DB, Eve, Perp, Crims. And, and so no, Miscavige, he wouldn't have a succession plan. And he doesn't. Because anyone internally speaking, anyone who is even seen as being a potential successor to Miscavige would also be seen by Miscavige as a threat to him. He can't stand anyone else having any seniority or having any or being an opinion leader. He cannot stand anyone else in Scientology or in the Sea organization other than himself being someone that people would look to for guidance. And if you are someone who's known to be or considered to be a potential successor to David Miscavige, you would be in that position. And Miscavige just can't stand anyone being in that position. So thank you for that question. That's great. Okay. Debbie with an I. Question: is it assumed that you were a Scientologist in your past lives? If so, how did that work, seeing that LRH didn't start until the 50s? So here's how it works, Debbie. Thank you for the question. So Dianetics could have started in 1950. Well, it did start in 1950, May 1950. Somebody could have been a Dianeticist for a year, and they could have died in 1951 and picked up a new body instantly and grown up to be a good little Scientologist who claims to have been a past life Scientologist. Now, I realize I just said that as if it would really happen. So what I'm really saying is, in 1969, some 18-year-old Scientologist could have pretended in their auditing sessions to have memories of their past life of having been a Dianeticist and auditing, working with Ron in 1950. And Scientologists would have totally believed that. And so, yeah. Also, remember that for a Thetan, Scientologists, consider Thetans are the immortal spiritual being that animate all bodies. Time does not exist. Thetans are supposed to exist independently of space and time. And also, but it's hard that's a hard concept to wrap a mind around. And so, like, for a Thetan, there is no time. Time can pass as slowly as they want or infinitely fast. And so theoretically, a Scientologist could have died in 1950 and or Scientology I think didn't really start until 54, but someone who was involved in Dianetics could have died, meaning a Scientologist in present time could consider that someone who just got into Scientology today, who was just born maybe 20 years ago, was actually involved in Dianetics and Scientology in like 1950, and they died and they just hung around, on a lamp pole for the last 40 or 50 years or whatever it is, 75 years, and just decided to pick up a new body, I don't know, 18, 20 years ago or something like that. So you don't have to think about it too deeply. If someone says they're a past life Scientologist in an auditing session, the auditor is not allowed to tell them that they're wrong anyway. The auditor is not allowed to challenge them. That's one of the main principles in auditing is you're not supposed to challenge any of the information that a person gives you. Now, that of course doesn't necessarily apply when you're talking about the interrogation style of auditing called security checking or sec checks. But in regular style of auditing, the pre-clear can say pretty much whatever the hell they want, and the auditor's just like, thank you, I totally understand, I got that. So yeah, people aren't challenged on this kind of stuff, probably because it would break down pretty quickly if you could challenge people on it. Old Frizz says, seeing Pearl Snappy and Jay in Los Angeles is so joyful. I saw a YouTube community post today that made it look like Pearl Snappy was on her way to LA. I'm getting FOMO being out here in Clearwater. I did see Denver Jay yesterday in LA with DOA. That was amazing. So for Pearl Snapper to be out there, I'm a little out of the loop, guys. I don't know what's going on. Is there some special? Is everyone getting together for a special event? Meaning, is there some special Scientology event happening that everyone's going out there for, or is this just a happy coincidence of people going out there? I don't know, but I'm out of the loop, and I'm kind of excited to find out what's going on, and if there's something cool going on, maybe I'll see what I can do to promote the streams of the people who are there live. That is always fun. Thank you for mentioning that. Jennifer Fisher says, please create merch with my pearls. All right, I'll try to do that. I'll try to find some good graphics for that. Thank you for that. Do I keep saying Aftermath? Ren listens. You need a postie on your screen. It's SPTV Foundation, not Aftermath. You misspoke again. God, I don't even hear it, guys, when I say it wrong. I don't even hear it. Putting a posting note up, I'm not even sure if it would help me, but I might try anyway. I know I've got posting notes here somewhere. Gosh, sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's see. Matt Elliott, MAA, SPTV Canada. Hey there, Ron. Hope you got to watch some of our stuff from around Toronto this weekend, primarily by Jeff, PTS for Life, Gabe, Escaping the Cultiverse A, and Phil Jones joined in. The only things that I saw were the highlights that Natalie Webster did on her morning recaps. Otherwise, I mean, you guys might have noticed I did hardly anything on YouTube this weekend, and that's because I had company in town, and we were just choosing to enjoy the time. So I'm sorry that I missed it, and I didn't get a chance to do any streaming of streams or promoting those channels, but I did see what Natalie did, and it looked like it was an awful lot of fun. Thank you for the comment, Matt. Marissa Martin, PDX. I think you're happiest when you're working because you grew up in a cult. And I think you are right about that. So I guess I can't say they never did anything for me. They gave me a particular amount of work ethic that makes me comfortable working about 120 hours a week. Unfortunately, it makes me slightly uncomfortable when I'm not working, but there could be worse things. Thank you. Steffi Thee, hey from, I think MO means Missouri. I don't know, guys. I grew up in a cult, but let me check this out. MO, yes, Missouri. Steffi Thee, hello to you in Missouri. Thank you for joining. Ren listens, work can be fun. Absolutely. Matt Elliott, I'm okay at work. So I'm at work. So have you on mute? Okay. I don't know. Having a live Q&A on mute isn't particularly helpful, but I'm glad you're tuning in anyway. Thank you, Matt. Lydia Von Stretchclaw. Now is a good time to promote Dream Realty. Yes. Lydia, my moderator's just serving me up softballs so I can knock them out of the park. Guys, if you live in the Tampa Bay area and you have any properties you'd like to buy or sell and you want to work with me, you can message me at aaron@dreamrealty.com. I am in real estate, guys, and I do love real estate. So yeah, my broker does wish I would promote the business a little more often than I do. So thank you, Lydia. Thank you for the setup. Extra points for you. Oh my goodness. Okay, Sharona, member for 1 month. Fantastic, Sharona. Thank you for joining on the live Q&A. And oh, you're saying thank you for doing these Q&A chats. It's my pleasure. It is my pleasure. I mean, it's the least I can do. I don't, I'm not prepared to commit or, promise to do any extra members only videos. It's just, I barely have enough time and attention to get all the videos done that I want to get done. So I figured doing things like this is the least that I can do. Also, I did ask my moderators to put the live chat on subscribers only so that there's a better chance. So, on these live chats, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to give the members all the priority on the comments and the questions. But I also want non-members to have an opportunity to have some comments and questions brought up on the live streams as well. But I figured, the least you can do is at least be a channel subscriber. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not even subscribed, you don't get any priority on the comments and the questions. So if the live chat is on subscribers only, that is the reason why. Normally on my videos, it's not subscribers only for the live chat, but for the Q&As videos moving forward, I think subscribers only is the way to go. Thank you for joining, Sharona. I appreciate it. Sam says, I am also happiest when working. My hobbies are being productive. I agree with you. Is this Danny? Is this YouTube Danny? Aaron is a hero. I don't know if that's Danny. I don't want to assume that it is, but thank you, Danny. Glad to have you here. And I appreciate the compliment. Oh, Blake Reed is a channel member. Hello, good sir. Good to see you here as a channel member, Blake. Texas Audits 101 is a new channel member. Excellent. Happy to have you here with us, Texas Audits 101. Jody Q. Hi, everyone. I am a little late to the party. Welcome. Okay, Rona Cooley says, Emily D. Baker said she's trying to read up to do an update on the Scientology lawsuits soon. Oh, that is so exciting. I cannot wait to hear her opinion on some of these developments. And there's so many developments with judges being kicked off and new judges being assigned and objections to the new judge and objections to the objections and approval of the objections and reassignments. It's crazy. And there's even a whole other development in the Valeska Paris, Gawain Baxter, Laura Baxter lawsuit that had been ordered. This is, of course, suing Tom Cruise's best friend, David Miscavige, 3 former Sea Org members from Australia, suing David Miscavige, suing the Free Winds, suing the Church of Scientology International. They had been ordered into religious arbitration. They had asked the judge who made that order for permission to appeal that decision without waiting until after the arbitration was finished to appeal the decision. The judge granted them permission to do that appeal. They issued that appeal. They submitted that appeal. We'd been waiting for months and months and months for word back on that. That decision came back. The appeals court refused to hear the appeal. So Valeska Paris and the Baxters will be heading to Scientology arbitration. That's not good news. Valerie Haney's arbitration continues to be ongoing and is still not done. That's not good news. Leah Remini's lawsuit against Tom Cruise's best friend, David Miscavige, and the Jane, there's 3 other lawsuits. There's 5 total lawsuits against Scientology happening right now. There's the Valerie Haney lawsuit. There's the Paris Baxter lawsuit. There's Leah Remini's lawsuit. There's Jane Doe versus David Miscavige Scientology lawsuit. And then there's the Jane Does versus David Miscavige, Danny Masterson, Church of Scientology, etc. So much to discuss. I can't wait to see which of those Emily's going to be discussing. And I'll definitely be tuning in for that. And I'll probably do some sort of summary about whatever Emily does. That would be really awesome. Susie SP Squirrel. I'm joining late. I'm always late. There's no such thing as late. As long as you're here, you're here. Thank you for joining. Happy to have you here. Oh, hell no, says, sent you an email with pictures. Okay, good. I will check it out and I will respond. Ken's channel, forgive him. He grew up in a cult, AKA Cup Tech. This cup? Which cup are we talking about, Ken? Okay. Blake Reed says, keeping it out ethics and crimmy is just the way I like it. So my first question, what is your favorite color and why? My favorite color is black. And I also love wearing blue. The problem is, so if I'm in very cool temperatures, like in here, I keep the space about 70 degrees. I can wear lighter colors and I don't sweat through them. Anything over 70 degrees and I'm breaking a sweat. 73, 74 degrees, I'm sweating. I like cold temperatures. And so one of the reasons I wear black, and this t-shirt's not a great example because this is cotton, and if I sweat in this, it's very obvious. But one of the reasons I wear the black button downs that I wear is it's just not that obvious if I'm sweating. And so it's great for wearing even when I'm not sitting in front of the camera. Like if you see me out in the real world in real life, I'm usually wearing a black button down. It's just what I wear. And if it was cold temperatures, I like to wear blues, but it's very obvious when I'm sweating in a light blue shirt. So I tend not to wear those as much. Thank you for that, Blake Reed. Okay, Silver Spoon. Rona Cooley says, Emily D. Baker said she's trying to read up and do an update on the Scientology lawsuit soon. There we go. Thank you, Silver Spoon. Miss Kim says, is this just one of your fun trips to LA? I'm waiting on the announcement for an LA meetup, and it would be fun to meet you and the Squirrel Squad. It's interesting that you made a distinction there, because for me, a fun trip to LA and a meetup is kind of the same thing. Someone asked me today because I mentioned the trip to LA, and the question was, do you want to do a big meetup? And I thought, for me, the meetup is whoever shows up wherever we're going. Like, I'm not looking to do what I would call like a meet and greet, if that's what someone means by a meetup. But like, if I'm going to be out there, and I'm obviously going to let I'm obviously going to let Streets and Jess and Chris and DOA and of course Laura and Serge and Michael. Like obviously the core group will know and will have some sort of plan. And even if that plan is, hey, we're all going to La Poubelle on Saturday night, I would consider that a meetup. Now, maybe after it's all done, maybe we go out somewhere or something like that. But I guess, Ms. Kim, what I'm saying here is it is one of my fun trips to LA, and it would be in some way or another a meetup to protest. Thank you for the question, Miss Kim. Regina Baker, Aaron needs an administrative assistant. I do need an administrative assistant, and it's a little bit of a problem, but that's okay. There could be worse problems. Oh my goodness, Karen McCourt, what do we have here? I'm happy today because my lawn service contract started today. All right. My grass was 16 inches long, and now all I smell is fresh mown grass. Well, Karen, thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's also trash night for me. So it's a great night for me as well. Get all the trash out, everything out of the backyard, just clean everything out, and then it disappears tomorrow. It's like a magical day. Trash day is like a magical day. Almost as magical as having 16 inches of freshly mown grass, imbuing the air with that wonderful smell. Thank you, Karen. Paul says, we are so ADHD. We are kind of ADHD. Okay. Clearwater Chad is in the chat. Good to see you, Clearwater Chad. Thank you for the super sticker. Okay. Force of delightful nature. What does a typical public Scientologist need the most after leaving? I'm assuming it is different from Sea Org members. Yeah. Well, a public Scientologist leaving, you realize by definition, a public Scientologist already lives and exists and is familiar with and operates in the real world. They are not constrained by the limitations and the the limitation on rights and freedoms that staff members and Sea Org members have. I can imagine most, what comes to mind is public Scientologists very often work for other Scientologists, and in many cases have always worked for other Scientologists. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because when they're working for other Scientologists, these are still companies that do business in the real world. It's not like these companies owned by Scientologists like only do business with other Scientologists. Like, you learn real world life skills. These are real companies. It's real job experience. You interview for these jobs. You know how to put resumes together. But what can oftentimes happen is a public Scientologist who's leaving, getting declared, they get fired, they lose their job, and they might need help and assistance finding another job. I'm kind of soft pedaling this answer because the truth is, someone in that situation should be able to easily find employment in the same industry or some adjacent industry that they already have experience in it. Like, the fact that they're leaving Scientology doesn't make it harder for them to find a job than anyone else. But it is something that we're happy to provide some level of assistance in smoothing that transition. Maybe they need some funds to hold them over until they can find another job. Maybe they lost their job with no notice. They didn't even know they needed to be on the hunt for another job. And it can be hard to explain to a new potential employer why you're unemployed. I always tell people it's easiest to find a job when you already have a job. If you are an under the radar Scientologist and you don't know exactly when or how you're going to come out from under the radar, I'll tell you, the most important thing you need to be doing right now is securing employment from a company that has no affiliation or connection to Scientology. Get your money right, as Grant Cardone would say. Wait, do I have my 10X hat around? Damn it, where did I put my 10X hat? Ugh. Anyway, okay, a public Scientologist might also, depending on whether their landlord was a Scientologist, might need help getting, or even financial assistance getting into another living arrangement. But yeah, public Scientologists live in the real world. They have proper educations, usually not a college education, but at least a high school education or equivalency. And they have a work history. If you're a public Scientologist, you are supporting yourself in the real world. You have a work history. You know what it means to have and find a job. So I hope that's a helpful answer. Thank you, Force of Delightful Nature. Matrix Tech Solutions. Good to see you in here, Matrix Tech Solutions. Hope you're doing well. Okay, Solicitous, member for 1 month. Excellent. Thank you for sticking around for a month. I appreciate it. You would be considered a workhorse, Aaron. Great channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. I know when I casually discuss this, I sort of talk about my capacity for work ethic. I say, because it's not like I always have great work ethic. I'm constantly telling you guys how much of a procrastinator that I am. But I do tend to get my best work done when I'm doing it at the last minute. I will say that. I tend to credit my capacity to have good work ethic to my time spent working for the cult. And I'm not sure that's totally fair to give the cult credit for that. Who knows? Maybe if I hadn't spent half my life working for the cult, maybe I'd still have good work ethic. But I don't know. I'm just saying, when you're used to working 120 hours a week, only working 80 hours a week seems like a freaking vacation. And I don't know. I guess there's just something to be said for it. Ooh, Texas Audits 101. I'm getting ready to launch my audit in Dallas, Texas. Fantastic. Texas Audits 101. Once you have a little bit of content up on your channel, if you don't already, maybe you do, make sure you submit your stuff to Fluffer Squirrel UK so that you can get your channel listed on the sptv.space website, so that when you're live, your channel is up there and people can find out about you. And if anybody wants to go and find Texas Audits 101 channel and subscribe so they can do their live streaming, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you for mentioning that, Texas Audits 101. Up Mayo, just hopping on. Well, thank you. Let's see. I guess I'm a little behind in the chat. Oh my God, I'm so behind in the chat. Barb's got 100 of these things starred, and I'm still bringing up comments from 30 minutes ago. Anyway, good to see you, Up Mayo. Thank you for joining. Sarah Sunkist, new channel member. Thank you for joining, Sarah. Linda Perales, did you know that Pearl Snappy and Jay from Denver are here in LA? I know now. I knew Jay was there yesterday. I saw that Pearl Snappy was heading there this morning. Oh my God, you guys, I really got to get my butt moving in here. Okay, MC1R Freckles. I'm in St. Louis next week. Is there anything to know about the org there? Is it worth a visit? It's absolutely worth a visit. Go to the St. Louis org. Yes. It's a city level org. It's a non-Sea org. I don't even know if it's one of the ideal orgs. It probably is. I think the St. Louis org is probably one of the ideal orgs, which means it's a giant building. It's a giant new building. It's probably got no one in it. And I'll be fascinated to see if they're doing any of the sidewalk recruitment. So I look forward to seeing your video. Email me the link when you do something. Oh, I mean, I guess I just assumed that you're going to be live streaming, but now I see your comment doesn't specifically say that. So, all right. But if you do live stream, shoot me a link. I'd like to see it. Panko says SPTV Tattoo Warrior needs a raise. Yes, she does. And SPTV Tattoo Warrior starred that comment, so she knows that she needs a raise. There seems to be fresh air in the community as of late. Well, thank you, Paula. Yeah, I would agree with you there. Okay. How do you say this one? Oh, Paris Cashin. Are you still going to do live stream of live streamers? There's so much going on in LA right now. The answer is yes. I'm still going to be doing live streams of live streamers. Stay tuned for that. I mean, I'm not going to do it every day. I'm not even going to promise to do it every other day, but I'm going to do it as regularly as I can fit it in. I mean, I love doing it, and that's all the reason I need to do it. Honesty Matters. Welcome as a new member. SPIT Clearwater. This is Kai, folks. Kai, we're going to have to, come over and do a chat. Maybe, what is not tonight. Tonight's not going to work. Tomorrow night. Come on over. Let's do a chat here. Let's break in the studio. Best steak, Charlie's or Burns? Kai, I've never been to Charlie's. So I got to say Burns, but it's not fair because I've never tried Charlie's. So by the way, I've been talking lately about, I got my one of my Traeger grill, the wood pellet Traeger grills. I got it out recently, got it all cleaned up, got it working again. And Kai, I went to Costco this afternoon. I got a big old 20-pound brisket. And I'm going to do I've never smoked a brisket before. And for some reason, YouTube has been showing me all of these brisket cooking videos, and I'm going to give it a shot. So let's see if I can make some brisket that would somehow compete with what they serve at Charlie's or Burns. And then why not? Let's just go to Charlie's one of these days since I've never been there. I will see you soon, Kai. All right. Susie Q. Aaron, when you do your fundraiser, make it a game day. I miss your game nights. That's not a bad idea. Give that a shot. Bev's playlist from Sissimipi says, Sissimipi is a play on Mississippi. I kind of figured as much. So let me say it right. Sissy. It's so Mississippi is how you would normally do it. And this is Sissimipi. Sissa. No, it's Sissimipi. Sissimipi. That's how you say it. Sissimipi. All right. Haggis Basher, your pearls are in LA. I think you mean Pearl Snappy is in LA, but thank you. Thank you very much. Texas Audits 101. How can I get in contact with Pearl Snappy? I'm getting ready to start my new audit channel in Dallas. I mean, I have her her cell and her email, but I can't give that out. So just comment on one of her videos and say you're trying to get a hold of her. Maybe someone else can put you in touch. Wonderful Popcorn SP. You've looked a little tired lately. Are you doing okay? Now, a gal might get a little offended at being told they look a little tired lately. I'll tell you, I have just not been sleeping very well. For no particular reason. I mean, the main reason is I don't go to bed at a reasonable hour. I'm usually up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I have like the windows here where I film blacked out, but I don't actually have the windows in my bedroom blacked out. So by the time the sun comes blasting in the freaking window, it's almost impossible for me lately for me to get more than 6 hours of sleep. And that's just not good for me. And I can tell it's taken its toll. So I actually did get some really good sleep the last couple nights. And I'm going to do my best, guys, to get on a better schedule. I need my beauty sleep, as Wonderful Popcorn SP can tell. Thank you very, very much. Okay, let's see. Venchi Akrust became a new channel member. I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. Glad to have you, either Wenchi or Venchi. Either one works for me. Okay, let's see. What do we have here, and why am I so behind in the chat? Thunder Age. Interesting. Thunder Age became a YouTube member. Thank you for becoming a channel member, Thunder Age. Okay, I guess I'm just not going to be able to go through all of these. I'm going to have to be a little more selective because I'm never going to catch up. Rocks in a Box says, take a drink every time he says Barb. If someone edits together a compilation of every time I say Barb, I will do a video about that. I'll figure out how to publish it. Let's see, guys. Keela McDonald. Welcome, Keela. Welcome back. And what do we have here? Let's see. Ken's channel says, ironically, at the pace membership is going, the last 12 can replace Dave. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So L. Ron Hubbard actually expanded a number of people who were in management, which I guess on the one hand shows, I don't know, I was going to say shows a little bit of faith that these people had some sort of knowledge and ability to actually accomplish something. On the other hand, I can see the counter argument that, well, does it really? Because if he sent 100 people to do the job of 5 people, that doesn't show he had much faith in those people. So I guess I haven't thought about this very deeply, but I think it is noteworthy that L. Ron Hubbard worked to expand management. And David Miscavige has done the exact opposite. He's completely eradicated the international management structure of Scientology. He was so convinced that Scientology's international management structure was full of evil, suppressive people who were only working to tear him down, that he got rid of them. So it's funny because I guess in one, I don't know, could you say that maybe that's proof that Miscavige is more paranoid than L. Ron Hubbard was? Because L. Ron Hubbard was relatively paranoid. I mean, he did spend like the last 6 years of his life in complete seclusion, with only being in contact with like 2 or 3 trusted people, living in a horse ranch out in the middle of nowhere, and actually living for the most part in a Bluebird motorhome. Sounds like, you know, and the guy died worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he died in a motorhome. So to me, that kind of reeks of paranoia. And yet in some ways, Miscavige is so much more paranoid than even L. Ron Hubbard ever was. I don't know, something to consider. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Sparrows 9. What exactly are Scientologists thinking that they're saving the planet from? Or what are they taught they're saving the planet from? Simple answer here would be from the reactive mind. Even on the upper OT levels, where you learn about Xenu and the body thetans and the volcanoes and the hydrogen bombs and the thetan clusters, and on those upper confidential OT levels, you're telepathically auditing those body thetans and the thetan clusters. Even on those levels, what you're doing is getting rid of, what you're taught that you're doing is getting rid of those body thetans' own reactive minds. So this is how Dianetics and Scientology are married together, really, because Dianetics is all about the reactive mind. Dianetics, the book Dianetics: Modern Science of Mental Health, was all about the reactive mind and the recorded content that's in the reactive mind that he called engrams. And these recordings were of moments of pain and unconsciousness, and all the commands in these recordings, in these engrams, when restimulated or reactivated, have negative effects on, this is all what L. Ron Hubbard said, negative effects on you, your body, your health, your moods, your emotions, and that everything that's wrong with you is your reactive mind. And so when they say, they don't actually say save the planet, they say clear the planet. And maybe sometimes they'll say save the planet, but they don't. I'm trying to, do Scientologists walk around saying we're going to save the planet? We've got to save the planet. Maybe. Save the planet from also nuclear annihilation. Now, this connects to the reactive mind, because L. Ron Hubbard said the reactive mind is what causes human beings to be so horrible to each other and to be so destructive in groups and to advocate for war and to fight wars and to make more dangerous weapons. And L. Ron Hubbard said that the reactive mind will cause civilization to destroy itself through nuclear war. And so Scientologists believe that when they say save the planet, they're not talking about environmentalism. They're not talking about global warming, clean water, nothing like that. They are talking about just getting enough people into Scientology, up Scientology's auditing levels so that they achieve the state of clear, which to a Scientologist means you've erased your reactive mind. And then you get onto the secret levels where you learn about all these pesky body thetans who got blown up in the volcanoes. And now you got rid of their reactive minds. And the idea is by doing this, you make the world a better place, a more sane, more survival, more ethical, more rational. And that's what they mean by saving the planet, literally from all of our collective reactive minds. There you go. Okay, Paula Bizak. Do I detect David Miscavige to have a Philly accent? Yes. David Miscavige and his family are from Philly. That's exactly right. Philadelphia is where the Miscavige family got into Scientology. They have a Philly accent. You nailed it. Good job, Paula. Okay, Blake Reed. Do you spar often in jiu-jitsu? If so, what is the coolest move you've pulled on someone? I have not been to jiu-jitsu class in over a year. And honestly, just this week, I think I decided it's time to email the gym and be like, I think it's time to cancel. I haven't trained in a year, but I've still been paying my gym dues for the last year. I just don't think I'm going to get back, Blake. I can't remember. Have you already started? Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. Every day I think about it. And honestly, it's been over a year. I think last March is when I actually went back. I'm kind of sad about it, if you can tell. Thank you for the question. Haggis Basher. Laura is performing a concert with Selfless on the drums. That sounds like a good time. Carrie01 says, Voyeur Thetans be hanging out on lampposts, hurling bodies together. I laughed so hard over that short you put out. I still need to catch up on the stream with Natalie. Me and Natalie went through Scientology's one of Scientology's craziest books, A History of Man, and read some of the crazy content that's in there. There are past life, whole track, other galaxy and star systems incidents that L. Ron Hubbard called nipping and blanketing. And nipping is when a thetan takes its energy beams and smacks you on the ears like boxing your ears, and that can kill you, according to L. Ron Hubbard. It can also make your ears ring, okay? So the next time your ears start ringing, just realize you've just been nipped by a thetan, according to L. Ron Hubbard, guys, not me, okay? And then blanketing is when a thetan covers another thetan and or another body with his thetanness and tries to overwhelm them, which can result in death. That's called blanketing. And then there was some other stuff that was really crazy. It's hard to remember it all right now, but God, it's hard to believe we ever believed any of that bullshit. And that's one of the things is that honestly, even that book, even as a Scientologist reading that book, I didn't really believe that bullshit. But it didn't make me question anything else. It just made me go, I don't understand. What did anybody ever do with this book? How is this information ever used in auditing? I was like, and what kind of auditing were they doing? Was it Dianetics auditing? Because I don't think so. Was it Scientology auditing without an e-meter? Because I don't think so either. Was it Scientology auditing with an e-meter? And if so, what were the auditing commands? What were they running it as an engram chain? Like, what were they doing? It doesn't even explain in the book what you would really do with these incidents. It was all very confusing to me. Thank you for being in here, Carrie01. Okay, Solicitous says, after watching David Miscavige talking on your shorts, I can't believe how much his actions and way of speaking is very similar to Tom Cruise's. Blah. Think of this, though. It's Tom Cruise who has come to act like David Miscavige, not the other way around. And I might be saying the same thing that you're saying, but I want to make sure people understand that it is not David Miscavige who tries to look and sound and act more like Tom Cruise. It is Tom Cruise who's trying to emulate the behavior of his best buddy, little Captain Davy of the fake Space Navy. It's incredible. Imagine being like the biggest, most famous movie star in the entire world, and you're like, But you know what I want to be when I grow up? I want to be just like my best friend Dave, the leader of the human trafficking cult called Scientology. If only I could be more like Dave, maybe I would mean something. Amazing. Okay, Paris Cashin says it's Occupy Scientology caravan of protesters and a big barbecue food drive. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds great. I've got to tune into that when I'm done here. Lumen says so late but present. Glad to have you here, Lumen. Even if you're late, there is no late on a live stream. If you're here, you're here. Okay, let's see. Does it matter? Let's see. Does it? Wait. Does it matter to you? Not to me. Thank you for joining us. Doesn't matter to you, not to me. Well, we know who hasn't been watching streams. I'm driving down to spend the weekend at Blue with who? With everyone? Oh, with everyone. With E1. Yeah, with everyone. I wish you were going to be there. God, not only have I not been watching streams, but honestly, even if I knew this was happening this weekend, I would not have been able to be there. It's Wednesday. God, it's not even this weekend, is it? Is this happening right now? Is everyone going this weekend for an SP caravan and barbecue at Big Blue? I would not have been able to make it this weekend. But oh man, would I have been able to make it this weekend? No, I mean, Heather's been out of town. I've had the kids all to myself for the last couple of weeks. Heather's been not out of town. She's been out of the country on a backpacking, hiking, camping trip in Scotland of all places. And she does get back Friday night. God, I guess there is a world in which I could have gone out there and joined. It would have been tough though, because I'm also going out of town again in a couple of weeks. I'm going up to the Northeast. I'm going to be in Montreal. Then I'm going to be out in California. Then out in the Northeast. Then up in Montreal. So a lot of travel. Oh man, I have so much FOMO right now. I want to be there. Amazing, you guys. I'm so glad that's going on. That is so cool. All in OC audit. What can you tell me about the Santa Ana, California org planning protest very soon? Now, when you say Santa Ana org, I'm almost positive you're talking about Orange County. Let me just look up where Santa Ana is. Where is that in relation to Orange County? Oh, yeah, it's only 12 minutes away. I can tell you this. The Orange County org for a long time was the biggest, booming, most successful, most profitable Scientology organization in the entire United States. That doesn't include Sea Org orgs. So, the Advanced Org in Los Angeles, ASHO on L. Ron Hubbard Way, Flag, those are Sea Org orgs. They're in a league of their own. Orange County is a normal class 5 city level organization. And the Scientology business consulting groups all over the world that had clients who were wealthy chiropractors and dentists, instead of sending, when they would hire new clients, they would work, these Scientology business consulting front groups, when they hire clients, when they get new clients, they're only allowed to take on non-Scientologists as clients. These consulting groups are not allowed to consult Scientologists. They can bring on non-Scientologists and turn them into Scientologists, and they can keep consulting those people even after they turn them into Scientologists, but they can only bring on new clients that are non-Scientologists. Once they got these people into Scientology, they would not send them to their local org because they knew their local org was empty and not beautiful and not really prepared to deliver. They would send all their clients to Orange County. That was Orange County's unique selling proposition in the world of Scientology is we are geared up to deliver VIP service to your brand new Scientology clients who are paying big bucks, and they have big bucks, and we're going to treat them like they have big bucks, and we're going to treat them like a super, super VIP. And now Orange County is a very wealthy area too. So they had a beautiful building. They had, anyway, that's what I can tell you about Orange County. So I would love to know what that org looks like now. Thank you for the question. All right, let's see. This is really happening. Welcome. Oh, okay. So it's not, you've been a member for 2 months. Well, fantastic. I think 2 months is as long as I've even had memberships turned on. So thank you for sticking around. Much appreciated. Jacob M says, does Scientology have a succession planning if David Miscavige contracted lung cancer? I believe he is a heavy smoker. Jacob, I answered this question earlier in the live stream, so I won't answer it again. But when this live stream is over, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put in chapter breaks for every different question that I asked for easy navigation. Thank you for joining it, Jacob. I really appreciate it. DP never in. Do you have any plans to visit Austin? The only way a trip to Austin is going to be on my itinerary is if it's for some of the podcasts that are located in Austin. So if that happens, I'll definitely make an announcement, and it would be really cool to have some sort of it would just be awesome to meet up with the protesters in Austin. That would be absolutely amazing. Tommy Tone Two Town became a YouTube member. Tommy Tone Two Town, welcome. Happy to have you as a channel member. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna have to start scrolling ahead. Jen Nelson, good to see you in the chat. How goes it? Going great. Glad to see you here. Thank you for joining. Stephanie Stewart gifted 5 channel memberships. Thank you, Stephanie. That is very generous of you. Wonderful Popcorn SP. What is your favorite food? I gotta say steak. But I love steak. I love chicken. Honestly, like if I were to answer this question strictly by volume of food consumed, my favorite food is probably just protein shake. I just drink a lot of it. It's easy. I'm not a big foodie. I don't like eating big meals. I kind of eat a little bit all during the day, unless I'm up really late. And then I just, am just stuffing my mouth with cookies and ice cream sandwiches and candy and all that stuff. But generally speaking, I try to eat clean. I try to eat a relatively high protein diet. But I do love steak. Nothing beats steak. Steak and boneless chicken thighs are pretty much the primary normal food staples of my diet. But steak is my answer. Thank you for the question. Anne Shatrine M. Selfless Self is playing drums for Laura. I got to check it out, guys. As soon as I finish with this, I'm going to jump over into the other streams. Okay, going down here. Nerd Report, new member. Nerd Report, good to see you, man. Hope to see you next time I'm in LA. Pegwardo said someone suggested merch that says Barb. That would be awesome. Funny Hat Blue. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Funny Hat Blue. Thank you for being a channel member. Happy to have you here. Emma Robson, what do you think of the meeting held about the LAPD? Emma, this just goes to show you how out of the loop that I've been. I think I saw a comment earlier in the stream talking about this meeting, and I wasn't sure what it was referring to because I actually don't know what you mean. I mean, guys, I've been out of the loop. When I say it's time to get back in the saddle and start putting out more content, because when I'm doing more content, I'm also paying attention to YouTube more in general. So I'm ready to get back into it, guys. That's why I just wanted to sit right down and get something done, just to set the pace for the rest of the week. Thank you, Emma Robson. And how do I say this? Cascade. Okay, that's simple enough. Cascade, welcome as a new channel member. Happy to have you. Nerd Report says protests in Los Angeles are growing big time. It is so awesome because let's be honest, what you guys are doing out there in LA is the model. You guys are showing how it's done. I mean, you guys are the ones that all of the other protesters popping up in other states and cities and countries, what you guys are doing out there is what everyone else is emulating. So I can't be more excited about everything that's happening, guys. You guys are fantastic. Open My Eyes 67, aka Mindy on Fire. That is a hell of a name. I didn't know YouTube would let you have a name that long. But I guess there is Suppressive Dave, Love Suppressive Sherry. That's pretty a long one. Welcome as a new channel member. Happy to have you, and thank you for joining. And Pegwardo, new channel member. Awesome. Thank you, Pegwardo. Maybe you just got one of those gifted memberships, I'm guessing. All in OC Audit. I will be live streaming with live entertainment, live theater productions once a week. First up, local theater group's production of Rocky Horror's finest, Time Warp. Oh, I thought you meant there's going to be live entertainment at the protests. Unless that's what you mean. Now I can't tell. If people were out there protesting, doing like live theater recreating live theater productions of like musicals, that would be super interesting. Now I'm curious what you mean exactly. Okay, let's see. Jonathan Manson. Will the tax exempt status of Scientology ever be removed in your opinion? All of the falsities and corruption should have removed it already. Jonathan Manson, thank you for the question. In my personal opinion, the answer is absolutely yes. There are so many things that I believe will eventually lead to the revocation of Scientology's tax exempt status. Could that take 10 years? Yeah, it could take 10 years. Could it take 15 years? Yeah, it could take 15 years. I think we have to be realistic about timeframes. There are Scientology lawsuits that have lasted 9 years. And the IRS attempting to revoke Scientology's tax exempt status would evoke, or what's the word? It would cause Scientology to do what they did in the first place to bring the IRS to its knees, which is they would file hundreds, if not thousands, of lawsuits. And and even if the government caught on to what they were doing and threw all of them out, whatever lawsuit Scientology filed against the IRS or the Department of whatever they did, that lawsuit would last for a ton of years, at least 10 years. So the answer is yes, though. I am extremely optimistic. I would say confident that Scientology tax exempt status will eventually be revoked, regardless of how long it takes. I think it's good to have realistic expectations. Otherwise, you wake up every day feeling like you failed. Every day, we should not be waking up expecting today is the day, or today is the month, or this is the year that Scientology tax exempt status gets revoked. It's a star high goal, and there's a lot of barriers to that goal. But I can see the top of that mountain, and I can see how to get there. You just never quite sure how many valleys there are between you and the top of that mountain. That's how I think about it. Thank you for the question. Okay, how do you say this? Silj Sickbener. Silj. Oh. Hello, Silj Seebickner. Welcome as a new channel member, however you pronounce that name. Amber Vanass, just saying hi. Hello, Amber. Great to see you. Funny Hat Blue. Aaron, could you say your email address once again? Thank you. It is growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Thank you for that. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Oh, see, now someone. Oh, here we go. Anna, are you planning on bringing back the Real Housewives of Scientology? Speaking of Real Housewives, do you plan on doing a video on Rebecca Minkoff? Yes, I do plan on doing a video on Rebecca Minkoff. It is hilarious that there is a Real Housewives of Scientology, considering me and Reese back in the day started the Real Housewives of Scientology. And now you have Rebecca Minkoff, a big Scientologist, whose brother, Yuri Minkoff, is a big Scientologist. Her brother, Max Minkoff, is a Sea Org member. Her dad, David Minkoff, and her mom, Sue Minkoff, huge Scientologists. I personally have known David and Sue since I was about 13 years old. Sue Minkoff still to this day runs the Dianetics running team. I was on the Dianetics running team here in Clearwater back in the early mid-90s. That's how long I've known David and Sue. In fact, when I was in Los Angeles in the Sea Org and I was doing my professional auditor training, I actually partnered up with Dr. David Minkoff, Rebecca Minkoff's father. We were twins on our Academy Level 0. We did that together. So yes, that's one of those things that it's been on my list. It's been on my list for like 2 weeks to do the Rebecca Minkoff video, and I haven't gotten to it. And I will, though. D. Marie says, Emily D. Baker is how I found this channel. My pearls. That is amazing. That's right. There was during the Danny Masterson stuff, I think people were mentioning my channel to Emily in the live chat, and she mentioned something about my channel. We never got to the point of actually seriously discussing doing a collaboration or a chat. And I don't think she generally does collaborations or interviews on her channel, but boy, would it be fun. Even if I just popped in and like if she wanted to pick my brain about some Scientology stuff as she was reviewing the lawsuits, it would be such an honor to be on her channel. I've been watching her stuff for so many years. And I became a member on her channel as well. Her channel is actually the only channel I have ever become a member on. I really appreciate what she does. All right, let's see. I've skipped through so many of the starred comments that I think I'm actually caught up. And sometimes I've been extending these out to like a 2 hour 2 hour live chats, but when that happens, it's harder for me to go back in and do all the chapter breaks. So how about we actually wrap it up here, if you guys don't mind? I think that's a good call. Let me see, guys. What else? No, I think that's it. All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. So much more to come later this evening. So much more to come later this week. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Guys, if you're watching right now, hit that like button. I know at the end of the video, hit that like button anyway. It actually does help. Thank you, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you, as always, to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe